You don't take something to eat.
No,
There's
we
some tea.
had a lunch at the Chinmay.
Binaji, there is some tea and.
Binaji.
Good afternoon. Can we all sit down? Let's start.
नहीं गरम गरम चाय है ले लो अभी आई Subir ji, you will take care. You will be able to take care of it.
I think I can.
Make sure that it is focused properly.
Yeah. Sure. Can you just focus?
Hello. Can everybody get seated, please? It's already 5 minutes late. Thank you. Hello. Let's start.
Hello, Mandana ji. Please have some tea and don't hide away.
Is it going to start automatically?
Yeah, it's online.
It's on.
Just here.
No, we will in 2 minutes I'll start because it's 2:08 we'll start. The last time also we started by 2:15. We will start. We will end it up by 4.
It's live actually. It's live. It's already live. People are just watching us.
Shall we get started?
Yep.
Hello? Hello?
Did you turn on the green button?
Yeah, it's on. It's on. It's fine.
Hello?
It's on. You can use this phone.
Take this one and try that.
Hello?
You bear it. Just you bear it, I think.
It's the voice of weaker section. It's the voice of weaker section. You don't hear it loud.
I said we don't need the mic, but our. No. Coffee, tea, I don't know.
Hello. Hello.
issue that also comes. Yeah, I'm waiting for Arun to come.
Arun means sun, he will rise. Arun means sun. Synonymous with the sun, he will rise.
Hello, please be seated. Let's start the meeting. Good afternoon. Welcome to our second official town hall meeting. Thank you for making time on this Sunday afternoon to attend this important meeting. The meeting will last for 2 hours only and will be adjourned at 4 p.m. We have a vigil scheduled for the Walpole University student Varun Raj Puchya at 4:30 in this hall, and so we need to wind up this meeting on time. Our heart goes out in prayers to Varun, who was an innocent victim to a brutal attack last Sunday, to his parents and to his family for the unfortunate incidents that has left Varun struggling for his life. God be with him. Today's meeting will be strictly informational regarding the present issue and the reason we are here to discuss and deliberate on the one board versus two board structure. Let us not deviate from this subject to discuss any other issue. It will be a listening meeting and not an allegation meeting. The first town hall meeting on October 8th was well attended by over 75 members with good discussion and presentation by several members with their viewpoints and concerns regarding the one board and two board structures. Please note a few ground rules for today's meeting. The meeting will be civil and decent with due respect to all the members and no insults or personal attacks. There will be no shouting, yelling or screaming and usage of foul words. Kindly sign your name on the sign-in sheet for the record of attendance. The members who would like to express their viewpoints by coming to the podium, please write your name on the request sheet that Prasanna ji is taking around. Each person will be given strictly 3 to 4 minutes to speak. There will be no borrowing or lending of minutes from friends. A timer will be maintained. If there is an issue from the floor speaker that needs an immediate response, we will allow a 1-minute rebuttal from another member from the floor. People will be given a chance to speak a second time only after others have finished speaking and if there is time left over before 4 p.m. As concerns come from the floor, I may request some members from the trustee board and executive board to address them. Let us make this a positive and fruitful meeting. Thank you. I'll now give it to President Arun Balakrishnan, who can give his opening remarks.
Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. This is about maybe our second meeting, our third meeting. There was one informal meeting before. My name is Arun Balakrishnan, President of Northwest Indiana Hindu Religious Center. Again, I'd like to start today expressing our deep concern, and actually, I wouldn't want to use the word sympathy, but we have a fellow Indian who lives in this area who is suffering for his life. And at 4:30, we plan to have a vigil in the same venue. I encourage all of you who are Indian Americans to participate in that and show solidarity and support for this fellow student, harmless person who was injured so heinously in a gym last Sunday. And he went to the gym last Sunday at 8:45 and just got injured, and he's in a coma right now in Fort Wayne. So we do have. There is a GoFundMe established by the National Telugu Organization, but we have his cousins who are students visiting the area who are in need of dire need of funds for their, to be in a hotel and their food and all that. So we are trying to do the best we can. So before you leave today, please, if you want to donate to that cause, we have a link established, and we want to make sure that we get some much needed relief to to his cousins who are staying with him in Fort Wayne. So I want to get that out before we get started. So why are we here today? So there was a big discussion on one board versus two board, and the real issue is we can, I think for those who attended last time, we can administer this organization either with one board or two boards. I mean, I'm indifferent to either one. If we do have one board, we need to have the proper checks and balances, obviously, to make sure that it is not a runaway board. We are not making any commitments that will tie the organization and jeopardize the organization. So the one board can comprise on majority trustee level donors such that they have good checks and balances. And it reduces some of the overheads we currently have of two treasurers, two secretaries, and all that stuff. We can have two boards as well, like how we have today, but I think there has to be more cohesion. We have to have two joint general body meetings, maybe have every other meeting. I think in some of the boards in the earlier times, both the executive board and trustee board had very less lines between them. They were together and very congenial and harmonious. So maybe we can go back to those times and run the organization in a way that they are almost together. Their lines are blurred. But the trustee board and executive board have two separate different agendas. The executive board is an operational board, right? It is trying to do the day-to-day, getting the place running, paying the bills, making sure the maintenance is taken care of. The hall is being rented and we are getting the revenues in place. And the trustee board has a larger agenda, the long-term sustainability of this place. What are we doing to grow the organization? Fundraising is a trustee level function. And also companies like ours, a lot of the corporations now have a matching funding, right? So for charities, we talked about this 3 years ago, but nothing has been done, is where we need to go and make sure that we say that we have a cultural center part of a religious organization never gets a matching funding from any corporation. But we having an entity called the temple and a hall, have the propensity to go and get. There's so many temples in this country and even Chinmaya Mission Centers who are getting matching funding from corporations. So my company, if I donate $3,000 to any cause, will donate dollar to dollar. We'll donate up to $3,000 on top of that. So anybody who works for Cleveland Cliffs, who are many of you are here, we are foregoing the $3,000 that is coming from us. So why I say this? This sort of thing is a trustee level function where you're trying to look for things like getting your corporation, registering it in a way that there's a non-religious component as well. Okay, so I think we can function in two boards as long as we stay to our lanes. We have more congeniality, and also that we are growing the organization. We're growing the fund base. We are growing our population. So that's kind of my opinion. And obviously, as the discussion gets animated, there will be times where we jump in to butt in and clarify any misconceptions. But with that, I will give the floor to whoever wants to go first.
Thank you.
Prasanna is the list. Prasanna is the list.
Samita?
Go. So with it.
Hello.
We have to.
This is red.
Volume.
This is red.
That's fine.
Hello.
Hello.
Increase the volume.
Hello.
I have one quick question.
Yes.
Mr. Bernard. I know we're recording. Is there a way we can look at the previous town hall
Sure.
meeting? Is it online or where is
We
it?
have it online. We'll send it to you.
Okay, 'cause I didn't see anywhere, and everybody was asking me, where can we look at the previous meetings, conversations?
Yeah, we had put it online for a few days. We've taken it offline, but
I think it should be on it.
It should be on it, because people who can't make it, so
Yes, that's
they
what I
can.
was talking to him earlier. We will keep it for a long
And
time.
it's on the temple website, right?
Sure, yeah.
It should
Temple
be-
or the IECC, gotta be a
Temple,
website.
Temple.
Okay.
So if there way, you guys can put it back on, so we can
Yes,
see it.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Shomita Bandopadhyay. I am the youngest trustee board member of NWI HRC. I also served 8 years on the executive board, 6 of these years as an executive board secretary. My husband, Dr. Subir Bandopadhyay, and I have been part of this organization and volunteering for the last 21 years. Shubir is a full professor of marketing at Indian University Northwest and a senior Fulbright fellow. Shubir also served as an executive board secretary for 2 years. He also served in the Priest Welfare Committee along with Dr. R.K. Unni and Dr. Hemendra Parekh. I have done some research for having one board versus 2 boards. I do not know what the outcome will be, but I want to share what I feel. NWI HRC has immovable properties such as hall, the temple and the land. It belongs to the Indian American community in NWI. The trustee board is trusted by the trustees and the general community in NWI in safeguarding the properties and the financial assets. Executive board members play a critical role in running the daily operations of the temple and hall. I do see their hard work executing and managing all the events in temple and hall, and I really appreciate that and thank them from bottom of my heart. The solution I want to suggest is that current trustee board chairman and the upcoming chairman, please inform and involve the executive board president and his and her team. Increase the spending authority of the executive board president. This is very necessary because of the increased cost of material due to inflation. Also, executive president should have the voting privilege in the trustee board. Current executive board president and the upcoming president, please include the trustee board chairman and his and her team to be part of all 36 events of temple and the ICC. Include the names of the interested trustee board members in the flyers. Inform them much earlier so that they can choose the event and come out to volunteer. Also, trustee board chairman should have the voting privilege in the executive board as well. I also propose that we should have a combined trustee board and executive board meetings in couple of months. That way we can exchange our thoughts and concerns. Our communication between the 2 boards will be much better and clearer. Last but not the least, I want all of you to be united and come forward and do the selfless seva for our temple and ICC. We come to the temple to connect with our God and goddesses. God bless our Bharatiya temple and ICC. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Perfect. See, into the board.
Arun, quick question. At the current trustee board meetings, do you participate in those meetings anymore?
Thank you, Samita ji. That was good and you stayed within
Can you
time.
come to the podium? Yeah.
Who is next? Prasanna ji is Bina Gupta ji. It's you.
I don't think so I need a mic.
No, here, go, go.
She's loud.
I don't need a mic. I'm okay. Actually, I want to thank, no, that's okay. Okay.
Hello.
I want to thank all the trustee board and the executive board and all the volunteers who put their money and the sweat to build this organization. And it's really shame we came here today divided community. It's really bad. We are smart people, we are well-to-do, intelligent. Where we went wrong, why we are here. We should not be here in the first place. We were very good community, we were all together, we never had a problem. I do not want to go in the past, what happened. I don't believe in the past, I believe you learn from the past mistakes, you fix the present and improve the future. Our goal should be, whatever went wrong, let's fix it and improve it, let's go back to the way we were before. We should not be here in the first place. So my recommendation, the way Somita said, we should have I believe in two, executive board and the trustee board. But we should have like executive board president should have a vote in the trustee board, so does trustee president should have a vote in executive meetings. And every 3 months or 4 months, we should have a joint meeting. Any major issues should be approved by both combined board, executive board and trustee board. Should not be just being approved by the few people and take a major decision, do something which we regret. That's what happened, that's why we are here. So let's fix it.
Thank you, Pinashi.
Hello.
We'll wait, I think we need 2 more minutes.
Hello. Yeah, I think we're good.
You could make a wish come?
Come on.
Okay.
Call, Monty, call.
Next. I'm not next
Yeah,
on the
there's
list.
one.
Next on the list.
Yes, Dr. Sanders.
Yeah, he's next on the list. You don't have to put it that close to your face, just loud.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Mohan Kesani. I've been here since 2005 and with my partners, Dr. Bhagwat, Makam, Gandhi, and all others. And I know most of you by first name by now. So, and we had a couple of meetings, and the last meeting and a lot of times we all discussed about the merits and demerits of one board, two board. And most of the people concluded it's not the question of one board or two boards. It's the cohesiveness, communication between the people that what mattered. It's not one board is more functional, two boards are dysfunctional. And my only advice from a medical point of view, if you have two limbs, one limb is broken, just fix it. Don't amputate it right away. So just fix it and it'll keep it going. And nobody is perfect and no organization is perfect. They all have problems. And again, don't hate the organization. And I used to hear people, and nobody will come, this will go down the drain. And you may not like the decision of the government, but you don't hate the country. I may not like the government of India, some things they do, but I never hate India. Same thing, I never hate America. The government, Senate, and Congress might make some bad decisions, but I still love that country. So same thing like the institute. At the end of the day, we are all friends. We come together, we get together, we live together, we enjoy together. Let's keep it that way. And don't say that I need to have power, you need to have power. As Dr. Mamdana mentioned, there is no power. It's a responsibility. It's a collective responsibility. Let more people take this responsibility. And somebody asked me the other day, what's the difference between a champion and a leader? And in my view, my answer is, a champion is who will knock out everybody. And a leader is somebody who will make everybody win. We need leaders. We don't need a champion. We need a leader. And I don't want to conquer anybody. I want to conquer with everybody. So let us agree with other people. If there is a difference of opinion, discuss it peacefully. And please, don't badmouth people in the community, in front of other people, because small community, what goes around, it comes back, just like WhatsApp message. It will go here and come back to us finally. So that only make bad blood between people. We're all grown up and mature people. Let's be that way. And I think it's two boards with a good cohesion, and I agree, constant communication, more meetings, and let's do the constructive way, what else we can do, where we can lease tempo to the next level, organization next level, include some younger generations, nurture them, mentor them, then we take slowly a step back. But whenever there is a need, yes, we will step in and we guide them. And whatever little might you have, whether it's financial or influence with here and there, just we'll make use of it. And so whenever we come to the temple, we should feel serene and peaceful, not what I am doing, what he's doing. And the two people talking on the corner, we shouldn't be paranoid. Oh, they're talking about me. Currently, the situation seems to be a little bit like that. So if two people talking in a corner, we should be very comfortable about it. So that's all I have to say. And other than that, and also whatever happens and all, just let's stick together and make it a wonderful place to live and work and enjoy. And thank you very much for coming. And please stay for the visit for the unfortunate kid and all. So I happened to went there this morning, and at the family's request, I visited. But I cannot disclose all the medical details because of HIPAA compliance and those things. And it's a sad situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kesani. Who do we have next? Dr. Bhagwat? Yeah.
Hi, I am Ravi Bhagwat. I don't mind one board or two boards, but let me say the pros and cons. For a single board, ours is not a huge corporation. It's a small organization and non-profit. The budget is about $200,000 to $250,000. Most of the job, 90% of the job of the temple is done by the temple chair and the executive board. Of course, everybody else, and the volunteers, of course, we should not forget the volunteers. So why do we need two boards of 20 people to do this? I think a small organization, small board consisting of 7 to 9 people, consisting of life members, patrons, and the trustees, they should be able to do it, I have been president of the Indian Medical Association before. Of course, that's a separate thing. I managed it myself all alone, with some volunteers. I think it is doable with a smaller organization. And secondly, I have seen big rift between the two boards. I have been there, I have been in the center. I've seen it for the last 6 years. And you ask any of the residents of the executive board, at the end of their tenure, they are ready to run away from here. They don't want to be here. Why is that? This is a very sad situation, I think that has to change. And I feel with one board it could happen, maybe not. Now coming to two boards, yes, I think some people may say that we are not ready for one board yet. If you're going to have two boards, I have a recommendation that, like many people suggested, I think the two boards should work cohesively, have meetings together, have a very good communication, so that the president should not say that I did not know what was decided and these 3 people or 4 people, they decided in the trustee board and then it was passed. That should not happen. The president should be involved. Everybody should work together. And also I feel that the trustee board is basically limited to the trustees, and that is based on your donation. And now we have a majority of the members are life members, about 350. Patrons are about 40 people, and the trustees who are here are about 100 people. I feel that we should modify the trustee board so that you could include the life members, patrons, and the trustees. It should not be based on their contribution. It should not be a trustee club. I think it should be all inclusive. give it a different name, but please include everybody. That way everybody feels good. Right now there are some people, they don't feel good that, hey, I don't, those people do that. I think it would work out a lot better. Everybody will be happy if everybody is included in the newly decided board. That's all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhagat. Your points enlightened.
Okay, who's next? Who else? Nipulji? Yeah. It's on.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nipul Patel. Been part of this organization since its inception, and I've seen many things. Never thought our small community would come to a point where we are discussing us versus them. We are we. Don't worry about who is us, who's part of, not counting votes, not doing all this. I don't want to be part of this. I just want to say one thing. If this organization, we heard varying opinions that there is a rift between trustee board and executive board. Since when did we start going away from 13 pages of living, breathing document called bylaws? Most of the problems that we are hearing are already addressed in the bylaws. Now we just want to basically twist these bylaws according to our needs. I'll just give you a small example, and I apologize, Arunji, Anjaliji, everyone here. Recently, we all got a mailer in our home about nominations, right? Most of us, everyone who's a member. And it says, anyone who wants to nominate themselves must read the bylaws. Well, people who wrote that, I'm sorry, I'm not going to look at them, doesn't seem like they read the bylaws, because I actually sent an email. In that document, it says, last day to accept nomination is October 25th. After that, nominations will not be accepted. Well, guess what? Bylaw says 4 weeks prior to the election, that comes out November 5th. So who decided this arbitrary date of October 25th? Don't force that on us. And only thing I want to do is anything that's written in these 13 pages, until it's changed, that is the word of gospel. I'm sorry. I wrote that email, and guess what? How many responses I got?
0.
Except for Arunji, who actually had the decency to call me. I thank you for that, Arun. He at least tried to explain. Yes.
I emailed you back.
Well, it didn't reach me. I'm sorry.
Spam.
It went in ether somewhere. But anyway, I had written to you, Dr. Bhagwat. I had written to Bala, who is the chair of bylaws committee, who is, Anjali ji, Arun ji, everyone, and I was surprised that there was no response except for this phone call I got. And I'm sorry, Dr. Bhagwat, that if you emailed me, not that I purposely put it in junk mail or anything, but we've been friends for many years. Anyway, I suggest let's take a step back, guys. The problem here is communication. There is no communication between all these nominated people. If we fix that communication part, all these years, we didn't have any problems.
That's it.
We did not have these problems. When did these problems start occurring?
2 priests.
Well, I'm not going to go there.
Oh, I'm gonna go there.
Well,
That's the problem.
no, I literally meant I'm not going to go there right now.
I know.
Anyway, thank you, and
I'd just like to clarify with respect to the mailer. So the mailer had 2 portions. One, the letter, and then one is the nomination form. Typically, every year, the nomination committee gets together and tries to nominate a slate of candidates, and obviously sometimes it leads to a popularity contest or the loudest voice in the room. So this time it was felt that we send it out to the community, interested parties can nominate themselves to come forward, rather than 6 people deciding the fate of the organization. So what we did was we sent that letter out, we got a slate of candidates, and those slate of candidates would be presented. I think the mailer should be coming out in a day or two. And Nipulji is absolutely right. Up to November 21st, a week before the general body meeting, the general body meeting is on December 3rd. A week before that, any person can come and say, I don't like the people here, I'm going to stand. And they can very well stand, and the ballot would be made a week before the general body meeting. And in the general body meeting, we will vote, and whoever candidate is the best candidate will win. There will be provision for absentee ballots as well. So, with regarding to the error that Nipulji, yes, there was an error. I think there were 2 forms. One form was duly discussed in our nomination committee meeting, but there was a separate nomination form made later with the printers, and in that there was a statement added that after 26, everything will be invalid. So, which is an error. For that, we will take up, we apologize for that, but we are still sticking to, by spirit and in reality, to everything that the bylaws say. I just want to clarify that. Yes.
Can I just
See how easy it was?
Yeah.
He communicated, problem got fixed. That usually happens.
Yeah, I also wanted to make a point that in the general body meeting, last general body meeting of 2022, there was a point made that why should only 6 members of nomination committee nominate the officers for the next board, and invitation should be sent out to the membership, and they should be invited, those who want to nominate themselves, and it was very strongly put in last general body meeting. So this time we thought, yeah, let's give it a chance and have people come up.
Yeah, you can come up
Yes.
to speak.
I just want to say, but this is a process we've done for all these years. This is nothing new.
No, we did it for a few years, then we stopped, and now we are again doing. Yes.
Please, Mr. Bandana, please come to the
Mr.
podium.
Mandana, yeah.
The online people cannot hear. If you want to speak, you have to come to the podium.
No problem.
Yeah, please. And use the mic, please.
Just want to clarify that our bylaws provide for a nomination committee to present the slate of candidates. And the nomination committee has not been operating in vacuum. They come up with a tentative slate. They also sent an email asking people that, hey, if you are interested, please let us know. So anybody who is interested is given a due chance. So somebody thinking that the 6 people are the ones making decision, I believe is not correct. I have been chairman of the nomination committee, and we always have sent an email asking people, hey, if you are interested, please let us know. Just wanted to clarify.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, please, can you come up?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Not to me.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
I can finish it.
No, you go finish it.
You want to finish it? I can
No,
say
no,
all.
no, you go finish it.
Please, please.
Please,
Charifai, you have been standing.
Please.
Talk,
Please,
please.
you go finish it.
I don't want to say too much. My name is Sharad Patel, and I'm in favor of 2 boards because of, as me, as a member, I never get a chance. If,
Closer.
It's gone.
Closer, get closer.
The battery died, maybe.
Hello?
it's not.
I think the battery
Is
died.
it? Can you?
Hello?
Push the button on there. See, there's a button on the side, on the top. See this button?
Hello.
We'll get it changed. Sorry about that. That's all right.
So, I am in favor of the 2 boards because, as me,
Close to mouth, yeah.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, because of person like me, as a getting a chance as a serving as a board member, and I get to know what's going on. I get to know how to help. In our community, there is so many people like that. They don't even know what's going on and what is the board, what is the executive board, what is the trustee board, and all of these. So, only the thing I would say is in favor of 2 boards because of at least we get to educate ourselves, being a part as a board member, how to help, how to serve the community, and how to do the things. So that's only the one thing I want to say, because of, as an executive board, the new youth will get a chance to get it in. And they, they get educated also because of the members. We have like 350 members, that's what you said, a lifetime member, right? I would say that the 50 to 60% people don't even know that how the system runs. And if this is the only way we can get to get those people to get a chance as an executive board maybe, and they get to know what's the system and what's the process. So that's the only reason I would be suggesting that if we have 2 boards, that would be a better.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your points. Who is next? Prasannaji, who is next on? Oh, thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar everyone. Jai Ho.
Jai Ho.
Gurudev Bhagwan ki Jai. I think we are discussing a lot about how we run this organization. We are not discussing the things that are important for the temple, how to do things, how to take care of the problems, or how to take care of the people that are causing problems. We are just patching it up. It is not going to work whether you have 1 board or 2 board or individual even running the soul. It would not work. The key here is that everyone that is making mistakes or is not involved or is not clear about how the temple should be or how the priests should be or how the organization should be should not be leading the whole show, should not become organization head or running the show. So how do you decide who that is or how that is? So you have given tremendous responsibility to your priests. They are educated and they are very good spiritually. But there is no say from them. You treat them like they are your slaves or employees. In an organization which is connected with the temple. That is not.
We are talking.
I am addressing that very 1 or board or 2 board is not the right question.
That is the issue we are discussing in this case.
You can discuss that, but if you want to solve the problem, then it is not going to solve the problem.
Within his allotted time.
All right?
That is a general body topic.
Hello.
I think I made my point.
Yeah, please let us stick to today's
today's topic,
agenda, which is 1 board or 2 boards, and the rest of the issues can be discussed at the general body meeting.
Yeah, my name is Murli Kollur. I've been here, I'm only a life member. I'm not very active in the committee members yet. I'm talking from my experience. I was in the SV Temple Pittsburgh board from 1990, not board I should say, committees from 1990 to 96 when I retired as the board of directors there, where I was inducted into trust fund committee member only because of my service. Now, at that time, 1.8 million per year was the revenue for Pittsburgh Temple. So we technically did not have a trust fund committee members comprised of magnanimous donors like we have. And so now, that temple was a mature temple at that time, 1.8. God knows how much revenue they have. They might have hit double digit by now, 10 million maybe. But our temple is still in the nascent stage and we do need 2 boards. And the reason is that we need the cooperation and help from the trust fund plus executive committee members. And we are not, because we are nascent, we cannot cut the umbilical cord of the trust fund committee from the executive committee. We need to work in unison
And only then I think once we grow, maybe to whatever million we're talking about, then maybe we are self-sustaining. That's when we can be independent. We can possibly consider one board working level. But at this nascent stage, we are dependent on 2 boards working together. That's all I had. Thank you.
Sing a song.
Hello.
We need all the young guys
Thank you,
here.
thank you,
Young
Murli ji.
generation.
That was 30 years ago, right? I think in this room, and not to be discriminatory, I think I'm the, you can't hear me?
Yeah.
All right, I thought I could hear myself. I think I'm the only person under 45 in this room right now. Sorry. And I asked Auntie, where's Havish? And Havish is at home. And obviously, Uncle's here, but where's Janushi? And I told Raj come out, I've obviously been here since the inception, but I was only this tall when the inception happened, and you all know that. And it's nice to see all of the first generation trying to make a proper establishment for my generation and our kids' generation. So seeing everybody bicker like this is disheartening, because from us, you're all our parents, you're all our aunties, you're all our uncles. We're not used to seeing this type of bickering happen. Everybody got along. Everybody worked together, right? I agree that good communication is needed, just like in the hospitals. You have to have good checks and balances. You have to have a trust committee. You have to have an executive committee. Everybody is interested in the IACC. Everybody's interested in the Mandir. We want to see this prosper, but separately is how do you get my generation involved? I'm the only one here today. I don't know if anybody came to the last meeting under 45 or not.
Not really. We need, because we have to.
I come to the Mandir. But the thing is, this isn't, but the problem is, this isn't just the Mandir, this is also the IACC, this is also the hall.
Belonging to your generation.
Yeah, this is
Place to
everything combined in one. We have everything combined in one, but everybody, it seems focused on the Mandir. We're forgetting about the cultural community aspects. We're the Indian American cultural community of Northwest Indiana. That's how we as children view it.
Right.
Fine, we're not as religious as you are, and we're sorry we're not, but we still care about the community, Like what happened last week with the young man from VU. Our community is also affected here. Who's to say that this couldn't happen to another person in our community? Why do we need 2 boards for this? We need the leadership of the trustee board. Those who have been here for the past 30, 40, 50 years, who know this area, who know our politicians, who know how this area works, to guide a younger board who don't understand these nuances. We have a lot of new folks who are moving into the area, like Mr. Patel in Portage. He's new in the area. I forgot your first name. It's still new, relatively new, and we have a lot of newer folks who are coming to the area. They don't know how the area works, but they want to participate. They want to be a part of this community. They want to be a part of this board, but they need to be mentored. They need to be led into this. So our trustee board has to have those proper mentors who are teaching these people. The trustee board, we put that money to them. We gave them that trust fund money so that we could be those mentors. We have in the bylaws that if someone is continually actively supporting the Mandir with their donations, with their support, it actually pays into their membership fee.
The time is up.
Oh, sorry. Anyways, in conclusion, we need 2 boards. But we also need to figure out a way that we can coexist and be back to being friends again. All right.
Hello.
I'm not running for president.
This is Harish. Prasanna ji is going to present what Dr. Harish Shah has sent to be projected. And you have 3 to 4 minutes.
Oh, I did. I've been wanting to go in the past once.
She wanted to start the opening ceremonies.
I had no problem with that.
I'll try to finish in 4 minutes, whatever he gave me, like
Everybody is the same.
But
Yeah.
When we are done, we will.
yeah, good you keep it, so I can adjust my pace accordingly.
As soon as you start, I
No, it was on,
Yeah, that was interesting. It's a transfer.
yeah, I'm just going to read out whatever he gave me.
yeah.
Start.
1 second, please, 1 sec. Something.
Yeah, give me fresh stuff. No, take the time.
Come up? Okay.
Yeah. Friends, I'm sorry I'm not here in person, but I sure would like to give my opinion. We need an executive committee and trustee board and elders advisory committee. Let us think why we are discussing this. I say don't blame each other for anything, just ask who shook the jar of hands. Is our system broken or it is made to look as if it is broken? Is it personalities or personal agenda? No, like there is a limit, and Harish's speech is like last time he read the same speech in 6.5 minutes. So I had to finish in 4. That's Suchita and I have been a witness to all happenings at our IACC, NWI, HRC. I know who has done what for most part. We all have volunteered to the best of our capacity in terms of tan, man and dhan. Although I believe many of us could do more, but whom am I to judge? If we all contributed 3 to 5% of our income, we would not have been here discussing because what we could afford. Okay. We need to stay together with mutual trust and respect. So why should we stay together with trust and respect? We need all of us together. Otherwise, this place will close. This organization runs mostly on donations. If we don't want and don't respect donors, we cannot survive. So what are the issues? We are all proud of our contributions. But if someone has done more, we question their integrity and motive. We want to take the responsibility which does not belong to us. Example, if employment is the trustee board subject to bylaws, why does the executive committee have to get entangled and throw in the organization in turmoil? How can a standing committee try to change the very structure of the organization and divide us? We have too many chiefs and no Indian. Everyone wants to be the boss and be in charge. I don't doubt that you all are very smart and successful. We have had officers who lie and cheat and steal. Women are insulted and disrespected by the members, officers and employees. Rules are broken and checks were written beyond authority. Values, honesty, truthfulness, morals, ethics were all compromised. Information was given and employee was advised to sue the temple. Some members were denied nominations for technical reasons and others were allowed to be nominated even though they did not meet the nomination criteria. Members were threatened of lawsuits by trustee members if they said something that they thought it was not desirable. Someone who have volunteered for 4 hours for 100 weeks seemed to think he can become a trustee. His whole idea is wrong. We cannot quantify seva. No organization has done this and cannot do this. Our officers have gone out of their way to insult key founding members saying they need to be kicked out of this place. The biggest regional group is being insulted and blamed for what is wrong with this place. Will any of this get solved by having one board? Absolutely not. So what are our deficiencies? We need many changes in the bylaws, not just one board and 2 board. No defined duties for the trustee board or the individual executive board members. And temple committee is given a lot of importance and weight, but not other duties and functions are ignored. We have no education, even though that is a part of our mission statement. Current situation, 2 sides, 2 views. Bylaws committee seems to think they can change the basic structure of our organization, but does not want to do any groundwork. Trustee board thinks it is not in their purview. They have to have written changes in the bylaws, and members should be informed and educated. Rigid stance won't get us anywhere except downfall. Compromise and give and take is the only way. Recommendations, executive committee and trustee board, elders council. Executive committee can do the budget and control, and trustee will do always oversee as long as the expenses are within the budget. No control needed if variation questions have to be asked. Shared duties by subcommittees including temple and all chair. To conclude, the executive committee can present a budget and the trustee board can approve it. We wasted 3 years of the time. All this started, the cost of lost opportunity is enormous. We have done a disservice to ourselves and the community. We have to follow the rules. Trustee board is the final authority. Most of the decisions were with more than 66% vote. When there was no agreement, the decisions were in limbo. My vote is for 2 boards and advisory committee.
Thank you.
How many? 3, 4, 4? Wow. Yeah, he read last time. 6
3 minutes 54 seconds.
Speed reading contest.
I know.
Shakuji, you want to go?
I know. I was thinking.
Rakesh, you would like to?
Nirantar? Kora, Dr. Kora.
Dr. Kora.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kora.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. You know, I'm not quite aware of all the intricacies here. I'm from Michigan City. I come once in a while. I value this center and I value the temple. It's a great resource for all of us. When I just hear what has been said, it appears to me that there is a problem of communication. And I think we need more communication, better communication, more collaboration, trust. I think trust is an issue. I think we need to have trust in how we conduct ourselves. Whether it's one board or two boards, it doesn't matter. But I think the key principles are how can we be more effective in terms of getting things done. I think that's the most important thing we need to. And I think for that to happen, we need to collaborate and communicate. It appears to me, and I'm looking at it from a distance, it appears to me that the trustee board and the executive boards are working in their own silos. I think we need to bring these together, whether it's one board or whether it's two boards. But if it is two boards, I think at a minimum, they should have some joint meetings, at least a couple of times a year.
3 to 4 times.
Yeah, they should have joint meetings. And the other thing I would suggest is the chair of the trustee board should automatically be on the executive board as an ex officio member. And the chair of the executive board should automatically be on the trustee board as an ex officio member. It's there? It is there. Is it functioning? It is. Yeah, but it's okay. Now, if there's a vote, what's the big deal? I mean, let there be a vote. That's okay. Yeah. So I think there has to be better communication. Let them be members. Let them be voting members, and that's okay. And let us work with consensus and collaboration. One of the things since I'm in politics, I want to mention this to you, that when I talk about the Indian community in Northwest Indiana, to people in Indianapolis, they really look up to us. They really look up to us. Like when we do our IMA Gala, it's a big deal. A lot of people from whether it's from the medical community, leaders from the medical community, or elected officials, they all want to come and be part of it. So I think we have a great thing that has been built upon by all the founders and who have brought us to where we are today. And I think we need to build on it and we need to keep this going. I think there's enough goodwill in this community to make that happen. And so I think if we can work together, collaborate, and build consensus, I think it can be done. It doesn't matter, it's one board or two boards, okay? If we don't get along, even in one board, we'll be fighting, okay? No, really, whether it's one board or two board is not the issue. Are we going to work together is the issue. And I think I'm hoping that we are going to work together. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just wanted to, can I borrow that mic, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is not an issue, just the boards just decided to make up and say, let's fight with each other. This was from a general body motion that was passed in December last year to look at this, and the bylaws committee deliberated and has put this. So this is not just to say, let's have two boards, let's get up some weapons and start fighting with each other. So this is want to make sure that this was came through the general body for some evaluation, and then this is how it came about. Okay.
Just wanted to add to what Arunji just said, that according to our bylaws, the executive board has all its functions very well defined, and so does the trustee board. and we all try to stay within our limits and do what we are supposed to do. So I don't think that the one board, two board is because we don't get along or this thing. Thank you.
One second.
Yeah, you had to say something, so come, go to the podium.
Just a quick comment about Arunji brought up the point. This was brought up at the last bylaw or last general body in December. Unfortunately, with my mother's health, I was not here, so I requested minutes. What I got was actual transcript of the minutes, which was 32 pages long with no names on who's saying what. So as I said, until we basically need to get our house in order, get actual minutes like we used to do to our members. That's not happening. Whatever happened to sending accounts or the actual balances? We used to do that. How come none of that is happening? Who decided to get rid of it? Which board? Trustee board? Executive board? When I requested these minutes, again, Arunji sent me the transcript and then Anjali Ben sent me the transcript. But if anyone wants to read that, I will happily email you that. 32 pages, and it's very interesting. Half of it is not even legible. Half of it doesn't even make sense because transcript does not work. So somebody took the audio and did a transcript and sent that to me as minutes. Thank you.
I would just like to make a simple comment on this. After the general body meeting, the all trustee meeting minutes were sent within a month, but the general body meeting went on for about 2.5 hours, and we do have what the key members spoke that day. But the transcript has to be written in a small summary form that is generally done by the executive board secretary for the general body. And we are still working on it, and before the next general body meeting, we will get it out to people. Thank you.
Dr. Dalal.
Hello, everybody. So, I'm definitely in favor of two boards. I've been here since the beginning of this institution. I was involved when decision was made to build this building, not the temple. I was involved when we made the decision to build the temple. So I have been here. We have spent a lot of effort and time to get this institution going. And so I think that the trustee board's main function should be to ensure, it's usually older people, and the main function should be to ensure that, hey, I'm not going to lie to you. Main function is to ensure that we have financial stability. And then the executive board should be the one that should be having all the young Turks like him, Anil, and he did a fantastic job. And they can then decide on most of the action items or whatever we want to call that. And I agree with the previous speakers that Binaji, listen to me. क्या एक दफा बोलता हूँ 10 साल के बाद आपके साथ तो मुझे सुनिए.
Please let him concentrate.
So no, anyway, yeah, I haven't written down the speech, so I forget everything. I was 71 ho gaya.
That's why she was saying that instead of the older generation, the younger generation should be on the trustee board as well.
Yeah, so no, that is true. The younger generation should be in the executive committee. And one of the things I agree with Sumita ji is that...
Trustee board. Trustee board.
No, you're missing the point. The trustee board is just this bunch of people who are making sure that money is spent right, and they're not doing anything else. The executive board is the one that is doing everything. And they should have more control and power to do everything and make all the decisions. And then the trustee board just makes sure that we don't go bankrupt. So that is basically the way it should work, in my humble opinion. And that's why we need two boards. And one thing I also wanted to, Murli brought some memory. In 1975, I was in Pittsburgh, and I was involved with the inception of that temple also. So I was very fortunate. Same way we were also involved in the inception of the temple in Chicago, so Lamont Temple. So we've been very blessed to have had opportunity to help with all these temples, and I hope that we all can be friendly and continue the great work and maybe build many more temples. Thank you.
We don't need it. One into the temple.
Will you welcome young people to the trustee board?
Yeah, I mean, this is a very simple thing. The trustee board, okay, first of all, the only requirement for being in trustee board is to be a trustee. The only requirement for being a trustee is you make donation. I mean, most of the people here can make that donation, right? So if you're in the donation, there's not even an election. I've been in trustee board twice and it has been like, there's no election. So anybody who wants to be in the trustee board can be in the trustee board, as long as you're a trustee.
You have to be nominated and elected.
Oh, young people can come and get board too. I have no problem with that. It's because those meetings are usually financial, but yeah, everybody who is a trustee can be in the trustee board. I'm sure everybody knows that. And you know, there's always openings. There is really, up till now, I've been in the trustee board twice, and really there has been no election because really people are not even willing to come and volunteer.
Ilesh is young and he's in trustee board.
So, yeah, anybody can be in the trustee board.
As long as you are trustee.
You want to know?
Right.
I agree, Dr. Dalal. Anybody who is eligible trustee board can stand for can be nominated for the trustee board and can be elected by the general body for the post. But you have to be a trustee member after paying the donation. Thank you.
I have a question regarding that. Hold on.
You could commit to be a trustee and be on a plan to pay. You don't have to.
Yes, you have to. You can pledge for it, and there is a limit. I think 3 years limit when you can pay up your this thing and still be eligible as a nominee for the
So that
trustee board.
everybody knows, to be trustee, you don't have to pay on the day one and then become trustee. You could be on the path to become trustee, just make a commitment. And all the donations you make go to yes.
Yeah, Mr. Mandana, they can pledge and they can take 3 years to become trustee members, but unless they are fully paid trustee members, they cannot be nominated for trustee board.
Okay, I have a question. Like Dr. Ashwini Kumar, he was a trustee. Okay, he died. So is his trustee position can be transferred? No. Is it the bylaws to his son?
Yes, I think.
Yes.
Okay,
so Dr. Kumar, Ashwini Kumar died almost 10 years ago. So his position trustee should be automatically transferred to Mati.
Yeah, I will let Dr. Hemendra Bhai
And then if he
answer.
goes there, then I want to nominate him for the trustee board. Let's bring the new generation in there.
So our bylaws does have a provision. I don't want to quote the words, exact words, but the bylaws allows anybody who has paid more than $25,000, that trustee membership can be passed on.
Right. I know Ashwini was trustee.
I understand. So
Right.
that answer is there.
His
And
trustee
the word
position
that
should go to his son. And if his goes to his son, I want to
no,
nominate him.
but that should not go to his son.
Then
He
who's
should
going
pay
to
for himself. He can afford it.
That's what my question was.
We need money. We need money.
So that's
We
why-
need money.
So it's not like
We need money. Don't let him get that.
And now, honestly, I'm telling you, honestly, the way right now this whole thing is going on, I was thinking about making my daughter-in-law the trustee and donate the money. But seeing this shit, I'm sorry, I don't feel like it. Making her trustee.
That only can be Anjali ji. Yeah, next turn this is my turn, my speech, not anybody's. I'm reading now. Yeah, you can say. So I'm Prasanna Bandaru and I've been volunteering here for more than 13 years and I served before as a temple co-chair and I'm currently serving as an executive board member. And before I jump off into this topic of one board, two board thing, let me present few of how this board structure works here, how many people get into the board every year, because some of you here, I'm sure you're not aware of this. Let's start off with the trustee board. We have a chairman, and once the chairman gets done with the tenure, they move into the past chairman position. And a trustee board, like we elect 3 trustee members every year, and plus a chairman elect every other year. So 2023 we'll bring 3 trustee members on board, 2024 another 3, so on. So every odd year it is 4 members, because which includes the chairman elect, and every even year it is 3 members. And out of a pool of 143 trustee members that we got. And coming to the executive board, like we have the president who comes into the past president, and every even odd year we elect 8 members, like the 3 executive board members, treasurer, secretary, temple chair, and the hall chair plus the president elect. And every even year 3 executive board members. So odd year is 8 and even year is 3 members out of total life members of 333 and plus 28 patron members. So coming to looking this for the total of 2 years, we need 7 members on trustee board every 2 years and 12 members on the executive board. So there were so many misleading statements, people saying like we need 30 people, we are shortage of people to serve on the boards, which is not the case. We never needed 30 people for 2 boards every 2 years. That is not the case. As you see, even like what is shown here for these 2 boards, like 2 years, 7 plus 12 is 19 people. There is no question of 30 people we need at any point of time. And from with a pool of 50 to 60 trustees, if we have to pick 13 members every year. We never needed 13 members of trustees every year. As you can see here, it is only 4 and then 3. And over the course of 2 years, it's 7. And this is another misleading statement that is floating around, and that is there is a lot of misperception that there is a higher body which is a trustee and the executive board is a lower body. That is a misperception and not true. And if you go to our bylaws, which is on the temple website, like the Article 4, this clearly says this executive board reports to the trustee board. So there is a hierarchy established for a reason. And there is another article of Article 6, and if you see here, like the Board of Trustees is totally responsible for the operations of the religious center, and any decisions made by the trustee board will supersede the decisions of the executive board. So let's respect our bylaws and let's respect the decisions made by the trustee board. If they have taken some decision, there should be some good reason behind it. That is what I wanted to let everybody know. And also, like, there are so many misleading statements, like the trustee board takes all decisions, executive board does 90% of the job, which is not true. Trustees are also working behind the scene very hard, like all the galas. The donations that bring from the hospitals, 20-25K, where is all that coming from? Those are all the trustee members who are involved much behind the scene, all the gala ads. They fill up the whole ad book every year. So let's give some respect to the trustee board members as well as the bylaws. So let's work together. Rather than blaming each other, let's take our own responsibility to heart and do what we can do. And there is a pros of the one board thing, like that I was looking at with the paper that got mailed, and there's a better collaboration and communication. That's one of the pro. Do we really need to tear down the board to achieve that? Can we do that with more meetings? Or the president goes to the trustee board meetings and the president gets the trustee board meeting minutes. If that is passed on to the executive board, isn't that good enough transparency for the executive board members to know what is going on? Like, we don't really need to tear down the boards and make it one board just because we need to know what is happening in the trustee board, right? There's the equal opportunity. Can you please not disturb me? I know that time, like, let me do it. Equal opportunities to contribute. Nobody is stopping anybody to contribute. You are very welcome to contribute financially or your seva or any way you want to contribute, you are always welcome. And accountability and transparency. Like, if there were only 2 people who are shining the sex, the president and the chairman, there is always accountability. And the transparency, there is a trustee board treasurer who puts out the reports, and there is an executive board treasurer, and the temple chair, the Devalaya committee, puts up the financial reports. That's how it always used to work. And yeah, and there is a simplified leadership. There's only one more slide after this. There's a simplified leadership structure, that is one of the pros, and that we have recently seen with the Lemon Temple, that is a big disaster if you see one board thing. So inclusivity and valued voices, right? If you have more people on the board, that's when you can include everybody to come serve on the board. Give them an opportunity to do something. If you have put a small board with 8-9 members, then you're excluding many people. You're not doing any inclusion over there. So, this is the last slide. Okay, this is the recommendations, like educate the board members who are willing to take up the positions. Then this kind of noise won't start. Improve the collaboration between the boards and within the board. And the clear definition in the bylaws of the roles and responsibilities of each member. Work on the bylaws to ensure there are no gaps for manipulation, which is all leading to this. Thank you.
Thank you. That was 5 minutes.
That was 5.5 minutes. Thank you.
I have to rush and put my point at least. What's the next step?
I think everybody has said what that needs to be said. There are 2 or 3 things. Number one.
This is better.
Actually, looking at it, the whole thing over several years and certainly within last 2 years, what happened, why it happened is known to everybody. Let us not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Number 2, so I believe in 2 boards. You brought up, Arunji brought up at the very start the issue of raising donation. There's a platform called Benevity. I have registered on that platform, I have filled out all the questionnaires required by the Benevities, which actually correlates with many corporations. One of the key questions, and I don't know how to answer that question, one of the key questions is your organization religious? Now, and at the start of this organization, and many people who are in the audience know that at the start of the organization we had said HRC functioning as IACC. And the idea was to introduce cultural aspect, which we were talking about earlier. But our 501c3 is as a religious organization. And therefore I could not answer that question as we are not a religious organization. And that automatically prevents us from... So people are aware. There are grants, federal grants that are available. We want younger people to come to the community, accountants, lawyers. We have all functioned interpreting the bylaws, writing the bylaws, even though none of us was in law, had a lawyer training. We have been running as a QuickBooks. Bandaraji helps us pro bono for all these years. So my point is that we are working together. We had a hiccup and the hiccup is over. So let's just bury it. The important part about the nomination, once again we invite all these years, and I have been involved with it for the last 8 years. All these years the idea was to put the people together who can work together. Once again, let me repeat. Idea was to put the people together who can work together. Why it didn't happen, what happened, everybody has to introspect their own self. So I don't, the bylaws, does our bylaw need improvement? The answer is yes. Yes, and we will do it. It's a quality is a continuous improvement process. So it's going to happen. Even after we make it perfect, within 3 years we will need to improve it again. That's a given. So let us come together and we can answer any questions. But we are not lawyers, we are not accountants, but we all start with a good heart, open our pockets, work together, and let's not, we have, anytime there is a problem, the leadership, both of you have to introspect yourselves and say, where did we go wrong? And that is because it occurred in this term. When it was occurring in previous term, Ravi and Carla have to look at them, sir. What did we not do? Why this issue came up? Enough.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify one thing on the Beneviti thing. I can just right now show you every temple in North America, and this is something I brought up in the 2021 general body as well, that it's a matter of picking up the phone and calling the other temple. So I don't know if you've done that, because each temple has a hall and the temple operation. The hall is registered as a separate business, we're non-religious, and we do have that. We do have rental, so as long as you make a copy of the bylaws and make it non-religious, it's a matter of registering it with the Secretary of State, and we get immediate benefit. So all I'm just saying is, the road that has been passed is done by every temple, and all the trustees have to do is pick up the phone and just go and call one of the temples to see how it was done. And it has been 2 years since that was mentioned. I'm sad to say there has been no action on that regard to make our temple be eligible for match. $3,000. I will pledge on January 1st. My company will give 3,000. Gayatri will pledge 3,000. The organization is losing $9,000. I'm telling you, because dollar to dollar, my company matches up to $3,000, including Chandan's. We all work for the same company. I'm just saying that this is the work the trustee has to do. Pick up the phone, talk to another temple, and say, guys, how are you getting corporate matches? How are you doing this? What did you do to register your business? How did you show non-religious affiliation? Oh, okay, let me do the same thing.
The question is very simple. Help me with that. Let's move on.
Okay. Just Dayton Temple, Indianapolis Temple, Cincinnati Temple, all of them are eligible in my company for match.
Hello.
Yes, Lamar too.
I'll give them a call.
Hello.
I'll give them a call.
Yeah.
Go Chandan, go Chandan, go. Okay, I'm Chandan.
Thank you.
I need more than 4 minutes, please. I didn't have my cup of tea also, I'm sleepy. I need more than 4. I didn't have my cup of tea, I'm very tired. So I'll go a little slow. Okay, so it's very unfortunate that we are having this town hall meeting, 2 or 3 of them, for this purpose of 1 board and 2 board. And wouldn't it have been better that we would have this community and a town hall? We would have talked about how to make our temple bigger, make the hall bigger, have more programs and all those suggestions. That would have been so nice. We would have done that town hall. Instead, we are doing this. That's okay. But this is kind of a third one, and really good to see that the temperature is really good, but inside the temperatures have gone down from the first town hall meeting. That's really good. It's a very good observation. So if we do more, I think it will come to 0. So that's a really good thing about the town hall we have done. So I'll just repeat whatever I spoke first time and the second time. And I see a lot of leaders and the friends, they are echoing the same thing, that it's a communication issue, 1 board, 2 board. We need to have whatever we have right now. And yes, there are certain things we can change in the bylaw. President should have a voting thing, and obviously it's more communication between trustee board and executive board. More than the communication, what I would say is my experience is, see, the trustee board and executive board is not like a senate and a house-like thing. Trustee board have, as some people say, like we have senior members, and executive board has all younger members. Okay, that's fine. But still, if there are senior members, I have personally, be more friend. Trustee board, executive, there doesn't need to be trustee board and executive, become more friend. I don't want to say like, okay, when you meet, at least, this is what I told in our office also, our bosses and everything, we go and work and manage so many big things. Come, talk with me, hey, how many sons? Hey, what is your son doing? Is he doing good now? You see, when you meet me, we meet every time. Instead of like, okay, Chandan, do this, do that, okay, done. You never talk with me even like, okay, how is the family doing? Let's talk, let's call. Once you start having this relationship, I'm telling you, and it's not all of them. We have trustee board member, we are like so friend, but we have some, so I am telling it in general for everyone. Don't make this
senior versus junior kind of a thing, because to get the newer generations is very much involved. Whoever is saying that, it's not correct. They might not get involved into all this, to be very honest, all this politics of this, but they are involved. You want to do a program? I did a musical program, everyone was here for $10. There was 380 people. We do a program, I'll have 400 people tomorrow.
One more minute.
Okay. So it's not our newer generation, and they are very much involved, and they will be involved. So that's very important for us. So I'll just end up not as a speech for I'm not standing for president. So I'll just give some punchlines for everybody. So there should not be this side or this side. There should be only right side, which is good for the temple. That's very important for all of us. And very importantly, some people say, which is more important than one board or two board, stop writing these disrespectful messages in the WhatsApp. And not all, we already covered, doing bad mouthing. Stop doing it. At the end of the day, we are all friends here. And stop bullying also. There are some people doing it. So that's very important. One board, two board has nothing, who is president, who is chairman. At the end of the day, we are all friends. We need to follow it. Because, and we all know here that whether some of the members, whether they will be in the executive board or trustee board, doesn't matter. I can name 20 people, doesn't matter where they are, they will come and help. So it really doesn't matter, executive board or trustee board member, or one board or two board. People will help. There are people who will be in the executive board, they will never come and help. I'm telling it openly. Okay? So, I'll just end with this, that it's not college, it's our temple and community. Always remember that. So don't get into those things. At the end of the day, we all want to have, God is here, more than that, we want to have fun, we want to have a good as a family. And I told you the last time, this is one of the best community in the whole United States. The way we do all the programs, we do all the temple events, there is no one in New York, no one in California, you name no one in Chicago also enjoys this. So let's keep it that way. Thank you. वो तो पहले से बोल दिया मैं one board. Sorry, two board.
He's pulling your leg.
Any Gopal?
Hello. Hello everyone. My name is Gopal Govindasamy, current secretary in executive board. Like if you see the current organization is a small or big industries, always we have a functional team, operational team, then supervise that team is a supervisory team or the board members. This always, it worked out well, it's working well. So two teams, two boards are really essential. Now we have to see that root causes, where exactly the issues between, to efficiently function or strengthen the community thing. Now, if you look at these things, all I gathered, the speech, like one is a communication issue, that can be strengthened very easily between these things. The leadership style, that's very important. Now, the old leadership style faded away. Now, the current one is modern, is very, very important. It works well, which is like a more of people's, person and collective direction. These are the very, example like Ford recently, they signed the agreement with the union workers because they are feeling with the people, So you have to don't look at your things or, the profit rather than, looking at the people in that way. Always you have to be a collective direction and people's person. That's very important. Third one is the suggestions. Like in industries, the operational team, they are the one, they take care of all the day-to-day activities. They know what are the loopholes, what are the improvements we can make. They can go and bring the suggestion to the main board, the supervisory team or the trustee board. And you have to accept it and see that there is a value or not. So those values try to implement it because we need that type of input from the operational team. So these are things we need to fix it. There is if you are bringing one board, you don't know what will be the outcome in the next 3 years. Better to be with that because these two boards work very well.
it's working. There are some small things, always you will find issues. Try to fix it and, move along. That's my opinion. Thank
you. Thank you, Gopalji. I would just like to make one comment on this, that if you see the trustee board structure, about 65 to 70% of the people on trustee board have been a president, have been temple chairs, have done all the hard work and the slogging earlier too. So not that trustee board members are just picked up from the trustee pool and put on the trustee board or made the chairmen. They have a lot of experience. They have been on the boards for about more than 14 years. And they really know in their time, they also did hard work. Like every executive board and Devalia committee has got their functions set, and everybody who chairs the temple or chairs the executive board goes through it. And before they, after doing all that, they have come to the trustee board. So I would, it's not that trustee board people don't know what executive board is doing or are supposed to do, or what the temple chair or the hall chair is doing, and they have no knowledge about it. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Hari Om, everyone. My name is Gayatri Iyer. So the topic today is one board or two board. And I think I've seen organizations, non-profit organizations, which work well with one board and two boards. So I'm okay with either one. But I just feel like I need to put forth a few points so that we can improve, whether it's one board or two board, whatever is being decided. I was looking up a few days ago, the first time this came up, I was looking up to see how many board members does IRS require for a non-profit. Does anybody know? No. 3. Just 3. With 3 board members, you can start a non-profit organization. So we have 2 boards here, and you know how many people are on 2 boards and how many of... And so this should be a good functioning organization. And we are doing the best that we can. We have a beautiful temple, we have a beautiful hall. But I can speak for the 2 boards or for the 1 board, I don't care, whichever way you decide and whichever way you go. But I think we need to improve our communication. The key is communication. I will just give you an example. My company is, and you probably have heard about Cleveland Cliffs trying to buy US Steel. I'm not anything in that, right? I don't even know what they're trying to do to get to buy US Steel. But you know what? They called all of us to a meeting because they wanted each one of us to have information about what is being done in the company. And if somebody asks you a question, what are you supposed to say? So we made a big decision in our organization to fire a priest, and which was going to impact the whole community. And I feel like, the trustee board members, as Anjali ji said, they're all well-versed. They have been presidents, they have held big positions in the community, in ISCC, so they know how to handle things. Whereas the executive board members were just given information that the priest is going to be fired with no reasoning. But if we had brought them all together and given them this message, this is what you as a leader can convey in this society, in this community, things would have been better because all of us would have the same message. And we would have been on the same page. So when we make a major decision in this organization, we need a meeting. We need to get everybody together and understand this is the decision that this organization is doing, and that each and every one that is on the board is a leader. So that is what has to change. So you make it 2 boards, you make it 1 board, but empower your leaders. Give them enough information so that they can go out into the community and represent you.
That is the problem.
Right? Right. Today we don't. We treat them as task takers, and even trustee boards, we question them, right? We question why you're doing this. But if they all get on the same page and they have the same message for the community, how beautiful would that be? So I want to leave with one quote from Swami Chinmayananda. And this is so that you have an open mind. Swami Chinmayananda ji said this about Hinduism. He compared Hinduism to a tree. He said the philosophy of Hinduism is like the pith of the tree, and the bark of the tree is the rituals. In my opinion, this maintaining the temple, maintaining this cultural center is a philosophy for IACC, keeping our culture alive, Indian culture alive in this American society, right? But we have one board, two board, who cares? It's like the bark of the tree. Sometimes the bark of the tree has to peel so that the pith can grow. If the bark doesn't peel, the pith will die, the tree will die. So, if changes have to be made, it has to be made. And so have an open mind. Have an open mind and make sure that we protect the philosophy of this organization. Sometimes the rituals have to change. Just because 12, 13 years ago we started with the two boards does not mean we have to continue with the same two boards, right? We can change. We can adapt. In my opinion, if you go to one board, it's less overhead. I can make the argument for that too. It's less overhead. You're talking about cohesion and communication. There'll be better cohesion and communication when you're in one board. How about guidance? Somebody talked about trustee board guiding the younger members. If you're in one board, how easy would it be to guide those younger members? When you see them speak up in a meeting or when they express their opinion, it's easier to guide them, right? But all I want to conclude with is, we have a beautiful temple. We have a beautiful place. And we need to keep this place going so that our younger generation and young men like him can be part of our community and would want to come and work for us, volunteer for us. And we can attract more younger people into this organization. So that's what I would say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. That was good.
Any final talk speakers, please? Please, can you come to the podium, sir?
I'm not going to talk about one board or two boards, but whatever the general body decides, my request to you is at the beginning of next year, and when the new boards meet, I think it's a good idea to bring a facilitator to talk about how an effective board functions. Whether it's a trustee board or executive board, two boards, one board, it doesn't matter. So what is, I think it's a lot of boards, like I've served on several boards. When I am brought on a board, there is an onboarding process. Somebody sits me down and tells me a little bit about what is the history, what are the issues and things like that, and how to work and collaborate and work together with the other board members. And I think a little bit of that training probably would do a whole lot of good. I'd be happy to bring a facilitator. If you want me to raise some funds to bring that facilitator, I'll be happy to raise funds for that also. I'm taking that responsibility.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kora. And I think
we're going to take you up on the offer for sure. And yes, we're going to it'll be good to educate everybody the roles and responsibilities and how to function.
Yeah, and I think as Dr. Harisha has put in his presentation, we should have an advisory board of people who are experienced and they can guide the trustee board as well as the executive board. Okay. Yes.
Three boards. Now we'll have three boards. Another advisory board.
Two boards plus the advisory board.
Yeah, advisory board.
Committee.
Okay. Before you all leave, we have.
Wait, we have one more speaker, please. We are not done for the day.
Who is it?
Okay. There's one more.
Mandanaji is there.
Mandanaji.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please.
That's the last one.
Yeah, that is the last one.
All right, go ahead.
Hari Om, everyone. My name is Om Mandhana, and I think a lot has been said about one board or two board. My personal opinion is we can make do with either. What's really important is, first of all, we should not forget the mission of the organization. Why we are all here? What is the purpose? We need to remember that. and then we should remember what is my responsibility or how can I help the organization to achieve its mission. And then people talked about communication, collaboration, very important things, but one thing which I want to leave with anybody who has an issue, please raise the issue, confront the issue and get it resolved. Let it not fester. So if there is an issue with between the chairman and president, confront and resolve it. If you two cannot resolve it, get few elderly people together and say, hey, this is what we are having difficulty. So and last thing I want all of you to remember is, please, when you elect somebody, make sure that you vote for the right person. You want people who are focused on the organization, not on individual. And don't live in your own silos. While you don't want to interfere in the roles assigned to each other board, there is nothing wrong which prevents you in giving advice. And I think we have a forum. Both the boards have representation of other board. They can talk there, or if required, many people have suggested, and there is nothing for somebody to ask and say, I want to come to your board and talk about something. So be flexible and be focused on the mission. Remember your responsibility, and all of the people in the audience, your responsibility is to elect the right people. People who can work together. Are you?
Thank you, Mr. Mandana. Anybody else, or shall we just conclude the meeting? Anybody else who would like to come and say anything? Okay, so it's about 3:48, and I think we will conclude today's town hall meeting. And let's do it with a concluding prayer. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you all for coming and attending today's meeting. And this will be the last meeting for this year, town hall meeting. And we will all meet at the general body meeting on December 3rd. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, thank you all for coming. I encourage you all to stay for have some tea and just take a walk around the building. Look at the temple if you want early and take some darshan, and then come back at 4:30. At least be there for the first 15 minutes of the vigil for Varun Raj, and yes, we will open the temple. Yeah. Vigil is right here, okay?
It's right
here. Yeah, thank you.
It will be from 4:30 to 5:30 vigil.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Oh, should we just make stop? Yes.
Yeah, no, but it was sent in WhatsApp.